Good morning, people. I hope I'm audible. Can you guys please confirm? Yes? Okay. So we will wait for some couple of minutes so that everyone joins and then we will get started. Okay. So we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes. Fine. And then we will start. Let's wait for all the people to join. Okay. So let's get started, guys. I hope I'm audible. Can you guys please confirm? I can see a couple of people have already joined. So let's get started. We have got a good number now. Okay. So can you guys quickly tell me what we have studied in the last class? Yes, we studied about the keylogger, right? And we also saw most probably about mobile hacking. Right? Most of the part was about mobile hacking, wherein we saw how to hack a mobile phone. Correct? Then after understanding that Android hacking, we went to the keylogger. Correct? So now in the keylogger, let me just start sharing the screen with you. Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible to everyone? Okay. So do not worry about the doubts, guys. I will be taking your doubts in the last half an hour. Okay. In the last half an hour, it will be strictly for your doubt clearing thing, wherein we will discuss all your doubts starting from our first session. If you were facing any difficulty and I was not able to attend that, no worries. In today's session, we will deal with it. Okay. Yes, today is the last session for your cybersecurity program. Sure. Okay, so let me quickly refresh the topic, that is keylogger, because we had not completed the coding part. We had done it partially, right? So let me quickly start from the beginning itself. Okay, I'll just refresh this thing. Whatever we have studied, those things only. So basically, we saw what exactly is a keylogger. Keylogger is nothing but it is a type of monitoring software that is designed to record keystrokes made by the user. So basically, keyloggers. I'm sorry. So basically, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. So what I was saying, so basically keyloggers are the people who is going to monitor your system. How they are going to monitor your system based on the keystrokes that you're typing. So basically keylogger is from the term keyboard. Let's say whatever you're typing on your keyboard and you want to gather that information. That information you can gather using a keylogger. So this is one of the oldest form of cyber threats. These keystrokes logger record the information you type in a website or any application and send back to a third party. So basically keyloggers, what they do, they record your information, whatever you type on a website or an application, and record it and then send it to a third party. So basically this is the job of the hackers. So there is criminal use of keyloggers, okay, wherein people use the keyloggers to steal the personal or the financial information, such as the banking details, from which they can get any profit. But at the same time, there are some legitimate uses also. What is the meaning of legitimate use? I'm talking about illegal uses. What is the illegal use? So within the business, people might use keyloggers to do troubleshooting, improve experience, or monitor employees. And also this particular thing can also be used by the parents to track what their children are doing, what activities they are following. So even parents can keep an eye of what their children are doing, which all websites they are visiting and all that, right? And without even the concern of that children, without even that child knowing that his system is being hacked, the information will flow. So there are some both the uses, good also and bad also. So we are going to study this for the educational purpose. Want you people to use it only for the good purpose. Please do not use it for any illegal purpose. Otherwise, you may fall into big trouble. I hope this is clear to everyone. What is keylogger is clear. Your exam date is on 25th December or 26th December. Okay, one of this date. I think most probably 26th December. It will be on 26th December. Everyone is clear with the definition what is keylogger? No. Moving to the next part, that is Okay. All your doubts with respect to your exams will be attended by the technical team once the session is over, Chakradhar. We will have a 10 to 15 minutes session after 12 o'clock, wherein a technical person will come and talk to you people regarding the exam. Okay, he will whatever doubts you all have regarding the exam patterns, he will attend to those questions. Okay, so keep these questions for the last. Technical people will answer this question. Fine. Okay, so now let's move ahead for the next question. How keyloggers work? In yesterday's session, I had not added many points, but I felt this is important, so I've added few points. So let us discuss about them. So basically, keyloggers, they collect the information and send it back to a third party, whether that is a criminal or a law enforcement or an IT department. So what these people do, they collect the information and they send it to a person. That person can either make use of it in a good way or in a bad way. And if a hacker itself is, using it for his own personal use, then he will not send it to the third party. Okay. Then, what are these keyloggers? Keyloggers are software programs that leverage algorithms that monitors keyboard strokes through pattern recognition and other techniques. So basically, these keyloggers use different techniques, or they use pattern recognition technique in order to track what is being typed on a specific system. So the amount of information collected by keylogger software can vary. Different keyloggers will be collecting the information in a different way. Some keylogger programs may collect, key by key, one letter after the another, or some keyloggers might, even collect the data in the form of paragraphs. So the most basic form may only collect the information typed in a single website or application. This is the most basic form of keyloggers. Whereas more sophisticated ones may record everything you type, no matter the application, including the information you do, copy or paste. So everything they are going to do. So what they are talking here is that a keylogger can take the information, either he can take small information or he can, entirely hack your system, and unless you shut down your system, they will be recording each and every activity of yours. So that is the meaning of how keyloggers clear. This is clear to everyone how keyloggers work. Okay. Now coming to the different types. Okay. Before going for this, let me add one more slides here so that when you're preparing for the exam, it will be very easy for you. So basically, this keyloggers can be hardware or software based. Okay. Keyloggers can be hardware, they can be hardware or software based. So what is this hardware keyloggers do? So hardware based ones can simply nestle between the keyboard connector and the computer's port, whereas software ones can be whole application or tools knowingly used by downloads, okay, or malware unknowingly infecting a device. So this software base can track entire details. So data captured by the keyloggers can be sent back to the attackers via emails or uploading the log data to a predefined website. So there are two types of keyloggers, hardware based and software based. So now moving ahead to the code part of it. Okay. So basically, first of all, you should have a Python install. If you do not have a Python install, please install it. Here I have given the steps for Python installation. So let me just type here. Okay, no need. Here only we can type, I believe. just reduce this. These are just the steps of Python installation. I hope people who said, one or two people who did not add Python, you all have installed it and you all have at least kept it ready for execution. So steps for installation. Python installation. So you can go to the python.org website from where you can download the Python. So here you can observe there is all release option. You just have to go to this. And when you click on all release, you can get a very big page. From that, I have only extracted part of it. I want Python 3.9.9. So you need to go to this particular edition. And then once you right click on that, you will go, you log in into another page. Okay, one more page will open. So there, go to the bottom, and there you will be having a number of options. Which is yours, Shreya? So here you can see this is Windows installer. If yours is 32-bit, install 32-bit. If it is 64, go for 64. Which is what is your version, Shreya? Windows 7. Then you can try this. Try doing it on, Google Colab, because I don't think so it will support for Windows 7. Check. Or else you can, download PyCharm or any other IDE. On what you are working, Shreya? Have you worked any time on Python? You have not worked? Okay, do one thing. If this is not getting downloaded, you can check for PyCharm or other IDLEs. It will work for Visual Studio. Yes, you can do it in Visual Studio Code as well. See, any Python IDLE you can try. It will work. It's not necessary this one only. Try in any Python IDLE. Okay, you should have a Python environment so that you can run the code. Fine, try it. Okay. So then when you're installing Python, always remember guys, when you're installing IDLE, always tick on this mark, that is add path. Okay, this should be done. If you don't do this, later on you might face problems. So this is very important step while downloading the or while installing the Python IDLE. Okay, add Python this thing. Python path. Okay. Now moving ahead to our code. So for the code, first step was to install pyinput in the command. Using the command prompt, we installed pyinput. Yesterday I showed you, just go into your start menu. Here you can type cmd, and the moment you type cmd, a command prompt will come. In this command prompt, you have to type this particular comment, that is not comment, sorry, command, pip install pyinput. So when you install it, it will get installed. Okay, since I've already done it, or else let me do it once again, not a problem. Pip install pyn. So it will take some time and then it will get installed. Since I've already installed it, okay, and since I've opened my system now, maybe it is taking some time. So here it is telling requirement already satisfied. It is already there. Okay, for you it might take some time and it might download. Fine, ignore this warning. So once we do this, we have to go to the IDLE. So let me go to the IDLE. Okay, you can open any Python platform which you have, whichever Python platform you're working on, right? You can use that. Open that particular thing. The moment you open, you can observe a Python IDLE shell will open. Now, yesterday we have already written the code. So let me just open that file. So here there is open option, right? So it will now go into my Python IDLE. I had stored it in desktop. You can observe here is my keylogger.py was the file. Okay, so let me just open this. So here is my keylogger program. Just go through it, guys. Yesterday I had explained you a few things. Just walk through this. Yes, done reading. Sure, Prathamesh, I will share it. Just give me a moment. I'll drop this file here. Let me share it with you. Okay, just a second. Let me check where I can drop the file. Okay, I'm not able to find it right now. Anyways, I'll do one thing. I will share this with you people later on only. I'm not able to find that particular option here. Anyways, so let's get started. I'll share this particular thing later on with you. Am I audible, guys? Actually, my throat is not clear today. Prathamesh, please check your internet connection. I'm audible to others. Okay. So basically what I'm doing here, first step is that I'm importing this particular library. What I'm doing, I am importing the PyInput library. It is a Python library which consists of, okay, I'm audible now, fine, no problem. So this is a PyInput, it is a Python library. It is basically consists of all the modules which is used to control the input devices. Since we want to control the keyboard using a Python program, we are using this particular library. Clear, everyone? Put library that controls the input device, controls the input devices. Then Next, what I am doing, I am importing some features from this library. So I want to control keyboard. So what I'm doing, I'm writing from pyinput dot keyboard. Just take the keyboard option and then import two variables, that is key and listener. So these are we are going to use. So now what I'll do, I'll first take a dictionary. So keys is equal to open and closing brackets. So what does this indicate? It is a, what is it? What is it, guys? People who do Python programming, can you tell me what does this line mean? It is a list. It is an empty list, to be more specific. Correct? It is an empty list. Now, we are going to record three events that is happening in the keyboard. The first event is when you press the key, what should happen? Then, see, let me go back to the what is the list? Okay, someone asked me what is a list. Can anybody answer this question from the people who are attending? Can you tell me what do you mean by list, guys? Who does Python programming? We should be able to answer this. What do you think? What is a list? Any idea? Yes, no. See, list is nothing but one of the data type used in Python. Okay, if I have to define what is a list, just a second, let me add that as well. See, in Python, there are different data types. You might have come across many programming languages. If you are familiar with C, in C programming, there are certain data types. To store integer values, you have an integer there. To store floating values, that is with a point 10.5, 3.5, 6.5. So like that, you have a floating points. To store those kind of numbers, we have floating data type for integer. Similarly, in Python programming language also, there is one of the data type called as, in Python, one of the data type, in simple words, if I have to tell you, one of the data type, okay, is list. Okay, and a Python list can be identified, is identified with square brackets. With square brackets. So whenever you are providing a square bracket like this, opening and closing brackets, by default they are considered as a part of list. So lists are used to store the data items, okay, where each data item is separated by a comma. It is used to store the data items. Okay, it is used to store the data items where each data is separated by a comma. Now, if I have to give you, can you give me an example of list? Yes, Rudesh, you are right. List is a data structure in Python that is mutable or changeable ordered sequence of element. Correct. In C, we have array, same as list. Perfectly correct, Pranshu. Yes, can you give me one simple example of Python list? See, try to create. Let's say I will create my list. Okay, let's say this is now opening and closing brackets indicate a list. So here you can add anything. It can be, colors like, let's say, blue. Then I can write red. Then I can write black. So now this is a list of colors. You can have list of alphabets and so on. Clear, Aurora? Sorry, Aaron, I believe. Is it clear, Aaron? We can store strings as well. So this is one of the data types. So you can take a note here. Make a note, guys. If you people are not doing Python programming, I want you people to read the different data types, or you can write a piece of code. Let me put this question in this way. Read about different data types in Python. Read about the different data types in Python, and then you people can write a program for each data type. Try to write a program for each data type. Now see here, I have written a simple program with the list. One line code also is fine. You should collect all these things. Read about different data types and collect examples. That will be more better, I believe. Collect the examples for each. I hope this is clear. Okay. So now coming back to this is like your basics. I can just type here basics of Python. Okay. So here we will talk about our code. So where were we? We have taken an empty list. Now logic, we will discuss the logic first. Logic part of it. So basically what we are going to do here. I'm writing a program to record what all things are typed on the keyboard. So here I am going to deal with 3 events. What happens when the key is pressed? Okay. When the key is pressed, what needs to be done? Okay. And when the key is released, what needs to be done? Now, okay, 2 events. When key is pressed, when key is released. Now, when the key is pressed, what we are going to do? We are going to record those information. Correct? We are going to here in turn record the information, and then what we will do? And then I need to store it somewhere. Record the information means what? You want to know what is being typed. Now record it and keep it somewhere, and then store it in a file. When the key is pressed, we are going to print. First thing what we will do, we will print here. Print the info. Is thing I'm doing. What the key press. So same thing I'm doing here also. So first what I'm doing, I'm taking an empty list here. In this list, initially nothing is there. So now as I said, the key, okay, it is an empty list. So it is pressed, I should do something. So here I'm writing one function for it. So here this is the way of writing functions in Python. So what I'm doing, define on underscore press. And here I'm giving the parameter needs to be done. So what I will do, I will append now whatever key you're pressing, right, which I'm going to take from the I'm going to append audible? Am I audible, guys? Okay, maybe because of my internet connection, that is why. Okay, so what I was saying is that, see here, I'll quickly tell you. So basically here I've taken an empty list, and then when I press a key, I need to take some action. So what I'm doing, key is pressed, I'm adding that key into this particular list by doing, when the key is by using keys.append function. Clear till here? So this append function is used to update or add the values. Clear? Okay. So here we are going to add it into the keys. Once we add it into the keys, now what I will do, I will call this write file function. So this particular function is used to add the contents, whatever I'm typing, into one particular file. How? We will see in some time. Then apart from this, I'm adding two conditions here. One is try and except. So basically I want to print, right, what is being typed. So for that reason I will go for try. Print alphanumeric key. If your alphanumeric keys are pressed, right, so that key will be appearing here. Now pressing some apart from this, let's say you are special keys like backspace, the keys will be, so for that what I'm using, format key function. I hope this function is clear to everyone. Is the voice glitching for others also? Yes. Okay. Let Is it fine now? I'm sorry. Actually, my throat is not clear today, so that maybe that might also be one of the reason you're not able to, get the voice properly. Okay. So now this is about the function when we is the how do we file? How we are going to write these content into one particular file? So for that, I have defined one function called as write file keys. So here is the function definition for it. So this particular function, what we are going to do, we are going to open one file, that is log.txt, in a write mode. So basically what we are doing, see, I want to record these information in one particular file. So that is why I'm opening this particular file in the write mode. And I'm giving it as F. File now be referred as F. Run a for loop. For key in keys equal to string key, whatever key pressing, right, that will be placed with this. So this particular point here, or this particular command, is going to remove the spaces between the key. Okay, and then we will write it into that particular file. Whatever word you have collected, no, that is wrote into the file using f.write function. Then if you want to remove any other this thing, any other keystrokes, then you are going to provide one space here, or else not remove, you can say you want to see the keys properly. Now you can see I will type A, B, C, D continuously. You want to separate them. For that I'm writing one space here. Okay, so I'm adding one space into that particular file after each key. Clear? I hope you all are getting it. Then once we do this, we are writing one more function for on release. When we release the key, what happens? So basically when you release the key, we are printing that information that the key is released. And if you type, if the key is equal to key escape, return false. So stop here. Then apart from this, I'm writing one more to do the error checking, that is with listener. On press is equal to on press, On release is equal to on release as listener. Then here I'm just doing listener dot join. So this is just a handler function for your key press. So this is going to listen to the keys that is being pressed. Clear? I hope you're able to follow. Till here, is it clear? Try and accept is basically to print that information, Pranshu. No worries, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. We will run and check that. So this try and accept is basically, to print the information. If you do, that is like if and else conditions only. So this is basically to extract the attribute error. Okay, this is to do that. Attribute means what? Properties. For that reason, we are providing this. Clear? Okay, so now let us run and check the output for it. So here you can see on the top corner, if you're using any other Python IDE or any other Python platform, check where is the run option. So for me, it is over here towards the top left. Can you see here? Run option. So I'll just click on run module. So what it is telling me, source must be saved. Okay to save. Okay. Now it has started running. Can you observe? It has started running. Now you can observe, if I type C is released. Or else what you can do, to have a hassle-free thing, let's say I will open one application now. I will open Notepad. Can you observe here you are getting note? I typed note here, right, in the start menu. So I'm getting note here. Can you observe? Now let's say here I will type hi, hello. Can you observe here I'm getting hi, hello. And let's say I will just simply close this now. Don't save. Now you can observe everything is getting recorded. I hope you can now observe that everything is getting recorded. Now let's say I will now stop this. So I'll just press exit. Now before pressing exit, let me do this thing also. Here you're getting alphanumeric values, right? Now let me press Control C. Let me type backspace. Can you observe? I'm getting backspace. Enter. Tab space. Key dot tab released. So now if I just stop it, exit. Your program is done. Do you want to kill it? Yes. Okay. Now let's check that particular thing is being saved or not. Now what you can do in the desktop, you can observe I had stored this, right? So now in addition to this, I'm getting log.txt file. Let me just open this. Can you observe here? One file is getting created called as log.txt, and here all the things are getting, you can be able to see. See, first I typed C, then there was note, then I pressed hi, then I pressed space. So what it is telling me, key dot space, then hello, then I pressed Control C. So then it is giving me like this, backspace, enter and tab. I hope you are able to follow. Ideally only got terminated. Okay, let me just open it once again and show you the code. Okay, here is the code. Walk through the code, guys, and try it yourself. I'll give you some time. Please do it. Sure, I'll send the PPT. 1 second. Let me just copy this entire thing. Actually, I just saw it. I can share this entire thing also with you. Otherwise, let me do one thing. I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. Do little arrangement with that. Okay, things are not proper. I will share this file with you. Not to worry. Later on. But try to type this and check the output yourself, guys. I'll give you some time. Please do it. Concept is clear to everyone. Is the concept clear to everyone? Concept is clear. Please type in yes or no. It's a simple code. You know, we can even modify this code. Here I'm doing extra things. You can modify this code as well. Clear? Okay. Okay. So now going back to our slides. Am I audible, guys? Can you guys quickly confirm whether I'm audible or not? Am I audible? Yes? Am I audible, guys? Can you please quickly type in yes or no in the chat box? Okay. So now let us discuss some of the best practices for detecting and removing keyloggers. So what is the best practice here? You can remove or you can detect the keyloggers by monitoring the resource allocation, by checking the processes and data. Observe. I'm sorry. Yeah. So basically, you need to observe resource allocation and background processes on the machine, as well as the data is being transmitted from device outside the organization. Whenever you're transferring the data outside the organization, so you need to be careful. Is there any background process running or not? Okay, this can help you identify if keylogger. So usually the key root access to the machine, a sign of a keylogger infection. So you need to keep a track of it. Then second thing is that keep antivirus and anti-rootkit protection up to date. And keyloggers often come bundled with other forms of malware. They will be having some malware codes, right? So discovering keylogger malware might be an indicator of a wider attack of infection. So you need to keep your antivirus and anti-rootkit updated. Then anti-keylogger software. Always use anti-keylogger software whenever you're working on some very important task. You do not want your data to be moving out. So in that case, you need to have an anti-keylogger software. This is a dedicated anti-logger software which is designed to encrypt keystrokes as well as scan and remove known loggers. Okay. Then consider virtual on-screen keyboards. Try to do things on virtual keyboards so that nobody can check into those things. Disable self-running files on external devices. Whichever files are self-running, right? So you need to clear those things. So unless and until you clear those self-running files, you will be assuring yourself from getting affected from the keylogger. These self-running files may include USBs, restricting copying of files to and from, right? That will be reducing the possibility of infection. So you need to take care of that. Then have a strong password policy. Always, whenever see ethical hacking or hacking comes into picture, it is all about how you prioritize the password thing. While checking your task managers, for unknown or suspicious installations. Whenever you might have observed also in your phones, basically, whenever you try to download anything unknown from an place, so it will pop up a message saying unknown and suspicious installation. Recognize odd occurrence, such as key pausing or not displaying on screen when typing can help individual detect keyloggers in certain cases. So this is how you can detect and remove keyloggers. I hope everyone is clear with this. I just showed you a normal notepad. Okay, when I run the program, a normal notepad thing. You can run even your, when you open your web browser, your Facebook, whatever you are going to type, everything will be there. So you can try that as well. Clear with keylogger thing? Any doubts so far, guys? Yes, any doubts so far? If no doubts, please type in no doubts. No doubts? Okay, fine then. So we will do one thing. We'll take a short break here. Okay, before starting the new topic, we will take a short 10 minutes break here, and then after 10 minutes we will continue. Not to worry, Sai Dinesh, today all this entire PPT will be shared with you. Okay, don't worry, I will make sure that it is short. It is shared today itself. We will discuss about that later. So we'll quickly go for 10 minutes break. It is 10:56 now. So let us come back at 11:05, and then we will start with the new topic. Okay. You can go take your snacks, or you can have tea, coffee, anything, and you can just come back at 11:05. So let me just open this. People who are trying to do this keylogger thing, you can do it. Just a second, let me just add this thing here. Okay. So you people can do it. Fine, then see you guys at 11:05. Am I audible now, guys? Yes, okay. Shreya, you might have done some typing mistake. Please check that. Shrey, I'm so sorry, Shrey. I can understand totally, when someone pronounce your name in a wrong way, how it feels. I'm really sorry about it. Okay. Because even people pronounce my name also sometimes wrong, and it's very annoying. I'm so sorry. I'll call you Shrey. Yeah. Yeah. Code is not working, Pranshu. Check where you have gone wrong. See, this is the code. Check where you all have done anything wrong is typed or what. Check here first. You need to import PyInput. From PyInput dot keyboard, you need to import key and listener. And then here we are just writing the code for it. Check where you're getting wrong. Check for the errors. In command prompt, you just have to type PyInput, install PyInput, pip install PyInput. Shrey, you have to give capital K. Okay, this from this particular library you are deriving this, right? So this has to be capital K. Check if it is working with capital K. If you're giving small k, even then it will not work. Okay, screen is not visible. Is the screen visible now? Screen sharing has started now. Okay. Shrey, please check here. This has to be capital K. If you're giving small k, even then it will not work. Yes, working? Fine. Pranshu, are you getting? See, here you need to be careful, okay? These are going to be case sensitive because these are the objects which you are deriving from this particular library. So they are not, you cannot give it small or capital letter. It has to be like this. Fine? Done? Okay. See, I will share this file with you people also. You can check. In command prompt error, no matching distribution found for PyInput. Have you tried with this pip install PyInput? Are you running Python ideally, Pavan? Yes. Okay. Are you getting like this? If you're getting some warning, you need to avoid that warning. Okay. Or else, what you can do? Okay, Pavan, what you have missed here is, see here, I have told you when you download, right, Python, you have missed this path. So you need to add this path. If this path is not added, then only you have to do here is that go location option. So once you go in here, you can observe that this is the shortcut, right? So just right click on this because I don't want shortcut, right? So what I'll do now, file location will open. Now you can observe this particular location. If I click on this bar, address bar, you'll get it. Copy this and then go to the environment variables, edit environment variables. So here you need to add that particular path. You can observe for me it is already there. So you need to add it here. Click on new and then add. See, you can observe here it is already there. Script is added and then Python 39. Okay, both these things should be there. If you do it, you will get it. So you can get the location or the path from over here. Clear? Okay, you can just do this, follow the steps, you should be able to get that thing. Fine. Okay, apart from this, Pradeep, this K I'm talking about, this K has to be capital K. From import key and listener, right? This K has to be capital and this L has to be capital. Only then it will work. Fine. I hope this answers your questions. Okay, so this is all about the keylogger. Okay, now let us start with a new topic, that is SQL injection. Now let us try to understand what is this SQL injection. First of all, there are different types of SQL injections. Okay, but we will be studying one out of them. So let us first try to understand what is SQL injection. So basically, SQL injection is a code injection technique that might destroy your database. So what we are going to do here, we are going to inject one piece of code. Okay, let's say you're running any web application, and in that web application, when you write any URL, there I'm going to add some malware. I'm going to inject some malicious code there. That is known as SQL injection. It is one of the most common web hacking technique. It's a type of a cyber attack in which a hacker uses a piece of SQL, as I said, a malicious code, which is called as structural query language code. This is basically used to manipulate a database and gain access to potentially valuable information. Okay, so this is nothing but SQL injection. Clear? Definition is clear? Yes, Pranshi, you are right. That is one type of SQL injection that we are going to do. Definition is clear? Definition is clear, everyone? SQL injection? Okay, fine. So now let us see how this SQL injection basically exploits the web applications. Now let us discuss this point in detail. How it is going to exploit the web applications. Here someone has a doubt. Let me just go through that. We will see this doubt later on. Okay, since I have already started with SQL injection. Okay, so I will look into this later. Fine, we will discuss this particular doubt little while later. Now let me speak about SQL injection. Otherwise, some people might get confused. Fine. Okay. So what is the exploitation of SQL engine in web application, or how you are going to affect the web application? So basically, whenever we talk about web servers, let me just type here. When we type about web servers, so web servers communicate with the database servers. Agree? They basically communicate with the database server. Yes. See, whenever you are dealing anything, if you are doing on web, there will be a database for it. Agree? So web servers will be communicating with the database server anytime, right? When they need to retrieve or store the user data. So SQL statements by the attackers are designed so that they can be executed while the web server is fetching content from the application server. So basically what I'm trying to tell here is that there will be two servers. One is your web server, okay, and then there will be, bear with this drawing color, okay, since we do not have enough time, I won't be changing the color, so bear with it. Database. So here you will be having web server and data server. These two will be communicating with each other, okay. Anytime whenever they need to retrieve or store user data, they will be communicating with each other. So basically what happens, the SQL statements, okay, by the attackers are designed in such a way that they can be executed while the web server is fetching the content from the application server. Okay, so when they are communicating during those times, what will happen? The attackers are going to send SQL statements here. I hope you're getting it. So when they are communicating during that time only, what will happen? SQL statements are sent by the attackers so that they can get the information. So it comprises the security of a web application. Clear? This point is clear to everyone? If you want, I'll add that point also. SQL statements by the attackers. Are designed, okay, basically so that they can be executed while the web server is fetching content from the application server. Okay, so this is very important. This you should be able to explain. Fine. How this is happening, let us try to understand with the help of an example. See here, I told you that web server and database server, they are communicating, and when they are communicating, when they are exchanging the data, that time SQL attackers are going to send statements. So how it is happening, let us try to understand with the help of an example. So let me give you one real-time example. Let's say, suppose we have an application based on a student record. Okay, what we have an application which is based on the student record. Now here I'm maintaining an application. Let me change this to at least white. Okay, so basically here we are going to have an application based on student record. Let's say this is a student's record, one application I have. Okay, so let me go for insert, take the text box, and I'll write here application. Okay, so any student can view their records by entering the unique ID and password. Let's say one student wants to view their information. Here we are running an application which maintains all the students' record. One particular student, if he wants to know about his record, he can get it by using the user ID, by using its user ID and password. He can get this information through this application using his ID and password. Okay, each student will have their own unique ID and password. Okay, and if the student enters like this, let's say the student enters the input field. Now here I have two fields. These are now my input, correct? Let's say the student enters this particular thing, that is 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 3 4. Now before telling this, now what will happen here, whenever the student enters his ID and password, this particular this particular record will open and they'll get the information about themselves. Agree? Yes or no? Yes or no? Have you guys done this? This could be, your application wherein you will be checking your results also. You might have seen you have to add your ID and password, and then that particular application form will open and you'll get the result. Now here what these people are doing, they are maintaining a database. Yes, agree? Agree? Here we will be having a database for all the students. Bear with my drawing, guys, I'm not that good. Okay, it's looking very bad. Let me take square bracket itself and take square rectangle itself. Okay, and let me add one circle to this. This will somewhat resemble like a database. Okay, let's say this is your database. Agree? So this is the database where the information about the student's user ID and password are stored. Agree? So if a student types in this thing in the username field, here we have two fields. One is your username or user ID, and another field is password. And let's say what will happen when the student types a specific ID. Let's say the student types 1 2 2 2 3 4, something like this. Okay, and then types one password, some XYZ. So what will happen? Here what is going to happen in this application, it will check in the database whether this ID and password matches or not, and accordingly it will give you the output saying that it is correct or incorrect. Right, now let's say this person, here we are talking about one person, let's say Mr. A. This student is Mr. A. Now he wants to check the record of another person. Let's say he wants to now hack this. He wants to check the record of some other person, that is Mr. Y or something like this. You can take, let's say, his friend. Let's say he wants to get the information about his friend without his friend knowing that fact. Let's say Mr. Y. So now what he is going to do, he is going to try your ID and passwords, right? So now what if he knows this SQL injection, he can easily do it. Why? Because in SQL injection, we have one technique wherein what we do is that concept is clear to everyone. Is the concept clear? What we are going to do is clear. Now basically we are going to hack this. We are going to make sure that even if I type the wrong password, I should be able to get the student record. Even if I type the wrong user ID, I should be able to get the particular, access to this particular record. So how can I do it? Let us see. So let me, I think here only there will be a place. Now coming to your, I know that in the database there will be the information. So how this SQL injection works, I'm trying to explain you that. Okay, let me take this here. Now basically how this works is that there will be one small code that will be using this particular thing, that is select star. This is your one field. Okay, from where? From the students. Where? Okay, you will be having the student ID, or you can say user ID. Okay, so basically what happens is that this star indicates any value. Okay, select from any values. Students, okay, where you have the student number is there in your database, select from any ID and check whether it is true or not. Now what it does, student ID, it will start to right. So check whether this ID exists or not here. And if this is equal to true, then you know that particular page will be open because user ID is correct. Similarly, we will be having this kind of a function for password as well. So select from users. Okay, from you can have something like this. If I generalize this for users and passwords, I'll write here as users. Okay, where you will be having username is equal to. Now this can right because I don't know what it is. So I'll just type here this thing and password is equal to this thing. So this matches when the username and the password matches, only then open this application. Yes or no? This is what happens. So here basically they use something called as AND logic. So what is this AND logic means? AND means what? When both are true, only then open this particular application. If any one is also correct, will this application open? If username is correct and password is wrong, will this open? No, right? So the same thing they are using here. So this AND logic means both has to be correct. Okay. You can read about the AND logic in detail, how AND logic works. So here basically they're using AND logic, which means when both the inputs are true, only then the output will you will get the output. Okay. So now here I do not know what is the ID. I do not know what is the password. So in that case, what I will do here is that this is about AND logic. Okay, and there is one more thing called as OR logic, guys. Okay, in electronics actually this concepts are studied. And an OR logic. So OR logic means what? If any one of the input is true, what OR logic says, if any one of the input is true, then output is going to be true. Output is true. So this thing you have to make a note of it, okay, for and OR. OR says any one is true, then open it. So here see, I do not know the ID thing, right? ID can be anything. So in that case, what I will do, I will play around with this. Any one of the input is true. True is considered as 1. One more thing, let me write that so that it will be easy for you people to understand. See, true means 1. The value is 1 in case of our computers. False means 0. Okay, this is the binary representation of it. When I'm saying both the inputs are true means what? Both are 1 1 logically. Okay, here you are giving the password name. So this has to be this. Now if I do something like this or 1. Now when I perform an OR logic, what will happen? What does the OR logic says? If any one is true, output will be true. So now what will happen? Using this hack, we are going to crack the ID. We may not know the correct ID, but by using this OR operation, this will give me the, this will tell, this will fool the website now. This will tell the website that, since I'm performing the OR operation, whatever I'm providing here, it doesn't matter because here I'm providing a true value. So I'll get 1. Clear? This point is clear to everyone? So you may or you may not know this, okay? But what you are going to do, you are going to add this OR operation here. So this is, you are injecting this code here. This is SQL injection. Clear? So now what is happening? All the student data is compromised here. Now the malicious user can also delete the student record in the similar fashion. Okay, so he can do anything with this data. Clear, everyone? So if I modify this thing in case of, this is the usual one. Let me just draw the arrow mark so that later on when you refer these nodes, you should not get confused. Okay, so let me just copy this. So basically what those people will do, they will add here this thing. Now in the username, okay, here what is done? You are going to perform OR operation with 1, which will lead to 1. And same thing is done in the password itself. Password also. Here also what you will do, you will have to do OR 1 is equal to 1. Clear? Concept is clear? Concept is clear to everyone? I'll come back to that point later, Solanki. Okay, we will discuss about that later. Concept is clear? Okay, so this is all about how we can do it. So here what we are going to do is we are going to use certain tools here to implement the SQL injection. So basically here what we are going to do, we are going to first download WAMP. Okay, this is one of the software that we are going to download. So let me share this website with you so that you can do it side by side. Okay, so if from here, from this particular website, now let me just go to my web browser and type this. So here the moment you open this, you can see this about WAMP server. So this WAMP is nothing but it is a development environment for Apache, MySQL and PHP database. Okay, so here what you have to do, you have to just click on this download option. So you can download the WAMP server from here. Once you download the WAMP server, next step what you have to do, you have to download OWASP bricks from this particular website. Let me just copy this. Okay, let me go to the web browser and show it to you. So the moment you open this, so you can see it will open this particular page for bricks. So what are these sites, or what is this brick software? You can observe here. I have written a few points about it, not much. So Bricks is a web application security learning platform built on PHP and MySQL. This is open source software. Okay, so we will be using this particular software for testing purpose. Okay, so here you need to download these two things. So basically from here you can download this one, 2.2 version. I want you people to download the 2.2 version. So once you do this, next step is that you will get a zip file. You need to extract it and then you need to copy this. Okay, zip file will be downloaded, extract it and go inside the folder. You can observe a folder called brick. you'll find a folder called brick. So you can observe here. Let me go on desktop. This particular folder. Now from this particular folder, you can see there is a brick folder, right? So this folder you have to copy. Okay, copy it, and where you need to paste it? You need to paste it in WAMP folder. After you complete the installation of WAMP, okay, after you complete this thing, only then you have to take this brick folder and go to this particular folder. That is, you need to move this folder now. So basically what you're going to do, copy this folder, right click, copy, and then move to your C drive. In the C drive, you can observe there is a WAMP folder. Can you see here? WAMP 64. Go inside this WAMP 64, and when you go here, there is www folder. In this folder, just paste it. You can observe I've already pasted it, so this folder is there. So this is the next step that you need to do. Once you do that, next step is what? Go inside the brick folder and open the local settings.php. So now that you have pasted this file here, once you paste this file here, open this. Here you can observe there is one file called as local settings.php file. Open this particular file. Now from this particular file, you can observe here there will be some content, okay, in this db pass. You need to change it to this. Same thing I have written over here also. Remove db pass and make it like this. So you need to basically provide like this. So I have already done it. So you are able to see it in this particular format. So this is how that particular local setting PHP file should look like. Here there will be something, okay, you remove that. In this field there will be something like this, okay, you have to remove it. Save it, and once you save it, close it. Till here it is done. Till here is it clear? Please make a note of this. Yes, done till here. So you need to follow these steps, okay? So once these steps are done, then you need to do this as well. So once you do this, okay, but few people, when you are installing WAMP, right, you might face some issue. Like, the issue could be, see, when you are downloading, you can download it in this step. Just go and press next, next, next. See, I want to work on PHP 5.6 version. Okay, so just those things you have to click. Don't click 7 version. Okay, it will not work. So these steps you need to follow. Just press next, next, and then you will get it. And some people, might get this error while downloading, saying that MSVCR file is missing or this file is not there, reinstall it. So in that case, you can visit this particular site, okay, and you can download it. And then after downloading, you need to install it or you need to place it in the system folder. Okay, so that would be, you can just move like this. Let me just show you. Let me go to the C drive. In C drive, you need to go to Windows, and in Windows there will be System 32. Can you see System 32? Here all those files are available with respect to MSVR and all those things. Okay, if you're not getting that error, perfectly fine, you can just proceed. But if you are getting that error, then you need to download that particular file and place it over here. So here you will be having all those files. Let me just quickly go through that. See, all the .dll files will be present here. These are the library files. Okay, yes, you can observe here. These are these files. That is, some of you might face that error, not everyone. Okay, you can observe those files will be here. See, MSV, all those files now, 110, MSVP or MSCR. If you're facing that error, you need to download it by using this particular website. You can go to this particular website. Here, just change this 120 or 110, whatever error it is. Download it and place it in this particular folder. In this particular path, you need to store it. If you're not getting that error, no problem, perfectly fine. Clear? So these are few things with respect to the installation. Then once you are done with this, you can go inside the brick folder and do this setting. Once this is done, in the bottom right corner, okay, near the speaker, you will be having one icon for WMAP. Can you see this? So you need to just do a left click on this. I'll show it to you. Actually, in my system, there is some error. So I will run it from another system and I will show you this particular output. Okay. So let me just go to another system. Let me just Am I audible? Is the screen visible to you? Okay, fine. So after following these steps, right, after you have done all these settings, after you have completed successfully installing this, now what you have to do is on this bottom right corner, can you observe? Here you can see the icon for WAMP. Okay, for my system it was not working because I had to download it. It's taking a lot of time to download. So I'm showing you it on another PC where I've already downloaded and tested. Okay, so here you can see there is a WAMP. Okay, just do a left click on this. The moment you do left click, here you can observe. So just do a PHP version. Can you observe the PHP version? This is 5.6. So I have already set it. Correct? Okay, so now once this is done, what I have to do? Next, I have to go into the browser, open localhost for bricks. So what I'll do, I'll just open, okay. So here what I will do, I will type localhost bricks. So the moment I click on this, I will get this particular page, right? So now what I have to do here is that, so just a second. Yeah. So in this bricks, you can see login pages. Click on this login pages. The moment you click on login pages, here you can observe there are a number of login pages. Login 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. So now we will go to the first page. So let me just click on this. So you can observe we are into the first page. Now here you can type any username. So let's say I will type the username as ABC. I do not know whether it is correct or wrong. And I'll type some password, random password, that is 123. And then I'll click on the submit button. So the moment I click on the submit button, what it is telling me, wrong username or password. So you can see here, you're getting a SQL query as well. So what does the SQL query says? Select star from users where name is ABC and password is 123. So now we have generated a query, right? So that we cannot log in using this credential. Why? Because this particular login ID and password is wrong. So now we will inject the code here. Okay, so how to do it? So first let me just copy this. Okay, I'll copy this and I will open one notepad here so that there I can explain you. Okay, so now what we will do, can you tell me with respect to whatever I had taught you with respect to that, can you help me to generate a SQL query here for this? I want you people to help me with this. That or and logic. Can you just relate and tell me? Try to do it. See what it is telling. Here you need to add or you need to inject. So how you are going to do it? So let me just copy this. Help me inject the code. It should open the website. Okay. So how to modify this? How do I modify this? What changes I have to add here? Yes, can you think? See, we have already studied about OR logic, right? We have studied about OR logic. What does it say? Whatever username you have typed here, you just have to OR it with 1. So you can observe the same thing I have written here as well. So you need to just write OR 1 is equal to 1. So whatever ID you are typing, you need to just do OR with 1. And then, so here what are we doing? We are playing around with this inverted commas. So let me just copy this and I'll paste it over here. And same thing you have to do with the password as well. Okay. So here also you need to perform this particular thing. I hope you're getting it. So now we will do these changes in our app also. So now we will go into this brick app and here we will type it like this. So thus we are giving a condition such that it compares ABC and 1. Okay. So here I will type now something called as ABC. See, I gave ABC which was wrong. But this time what I will do along with ABC, I will provide or with 1, which is nothing but this thing with inverted commas. Or else I can type it with admin also and I'll show it to you. You can just paste the same thing here, paste the password. So you can see successfully logged in. So basically what we are doing here, we know that 1 is equal to 1 is 100% true. Right? But ABC as the username may or may not be true. That is why what we are doing, we are performing a logical OR operation here. Clear? Now see here if I type like this and if I type some password, submit it. What will happen? It is successfully logged in. It is going to ignore this particular thing. What it is doing, it is ignoring whatever the first parameter that you are giving. It is ignoring that and it is taking only 1. That is the speciality of OR operation. Clear? Any doubts here, guys? Is the concept clear? Yes, you all are right. Okay. Now I will shift back to my system so that there we have our PPTs, right? So that we can discuss there. Yes, we can do this in any website, Shreya, but that website should be, not secured one. Only there you can do it. This Brick website is a testing website wherein you can test your codes for educational purpose. So you try in this itself because if you try in some other websites, it should not create a kiosk for you people. Okay. I hope you're getting it. There is another buggy web application called as BWAP also. Okay, while it works similar basis, you can practice there as well. Okay, there is another app as well available. Fine, clear till here? Okay. So now I will open the floor for question answers. But before going for that, let us quickly discuss some more points. Okay. So now let us go back to the slides. So this is all about your SQL hacking. Okay. So these are few more points which I have added with respect to impact of SQL injection and the prevention of SQL injection, how you can do it. So when it comes for impact of SQL, you can see the hackers can retrieve all the user data present in the database. So such as your user details, your credit cards, and so on. It is also possible for them, since they have the user access, they can delete your accounts. They can use your data. Nowadays, all the online shopping applications, bank transaction, everything, uses a backend database server. So in case the hacker is able to exploit that using SQL injection, the entire server is compromised. So these are the impacts of SQL injection. How to prevent it? Again, using user authentication. You need to use a proper authentication here. Validating the input from the user by a predefining length, type of input, and so on. Restricting access privileges for users and defining as to how much amount of data any outsider can access from the database. You should not allow, access to other people. So you need to restrict your access privileges. Do not use system administration account. So by following these steps, you will be prevented by SQL injection. Clear? So this is all about SQL injection. Okay, how to hack Wi-Fi? No, Chakradhar, I had said if time permits, I will explain you about Wi-Fi hacking, but because Wi-Fi hacking is not part of your syllabus, okay, I wanted to do it if time permits. I just wanted to first complete the syllabus given to you people. See, for Wi-Fi hacking, we need an external Wi-Fi adapter. For example, Alpha or to link for a Wi-Fi hacking. And then there are a few more methods like air cracking ng to find the Wi-Fi passwords. So you can read about it. Just for your information. When you're installing, you will get it. So you can get it from there itself. So no need of this. So this one thing I will add it in your installation steps. So if you are facing error, only then you have to do it, or else no. Fine then. Any doubts, guys? Anything you want to discuss? Do you guys have any doubts with respect to anything that we have covered so far? Let me just add it here. I just now said, Sai Dinesh, for Wi-Fi hacking, you need a Wi-Fi adapter there. Okay, so using that particular device, you will be easily able to do the Wi-Fi hacking. Okay, now any other doubts with respect to any of the topic? If you do not have any doubts, then I will connect with the technical team so that they can answer your queries with respect to your doubts. Ebooks. Okay, most of you are talking about the ebooks, right? Ebooks are nothing but, see, for whenever you are studying about or whenever you are dealing with the books, like, see, now I want to study about cyber security. You can just type in here cyber security books. Okay, so when you type about cyber security books, what will happen? You will get a page here for regarding the books and pages. You can observe here there are a number of books available for cyber security. But which is the best one and the one which I prefer, I will be telling you guys in your WhatsApp group, because I need to check it my folder where it is. I was just checking it around. Anyways, I will check them and I will let you know. Okay. But the best thing what you can reviews, you can even check what are the 5 types of cyber security books are available. When you want to study about network security in detail, you can go for this. Okay, critical infrastructure security, then go for this. But for you, what to refer, in a simple, there is one book which is very simple, not that difficult. I'll let you know. I'm not able to remember the name, but I will check with the, in my database where I have kept it, and then I'll post that book's name in the WhatsApp group. Fine. Okay. Ma'am, what happens if we run all the commands we run in Kali Linux and run in command prompt? See, basically your command prompt is not going to access your programs. Here, this is just a interface. Whereas Kali Linux is one process using which you can run the ls programs which are pre-installed. Okay, that is why you cannot communicate with both the. So Kali Linux will have its own commands, and command prompt will also have their own this thing. See, now if I want to know about internet information, if I want to know the IP address, here the command is going to be ifconfig, whereas in Kali it is going to be ifconfig. So both has their own commands using which you can access them. Okay, basically Kali Linux is used to run a particular program. Here also you can run the programs, but the methodology is going to be different. Clear? Yes, you will get it. You will get a lot of books to hack Wi-Fi. You will get, there are many YouTube videos also available which are present there, and even I can also teach you for that. Okay, not to worry about that. Yes, of course, Solanki, you can crack a hash file as well. You can write a Python code for it, and you can do it. Try to write a Python code for it, Solanki. That will solve your problem. You can do it. Just check with the this thing. You can use a simple Python code is available to do that. And if you use that Python code, you should be able to come out of this. I meant I will update the files in the group because this ends the course today. Okay. Okay. Regarding your doubt with respect to your all those things will be dealt with the technical team. They will inform you via email or they will inform you on the WhatsApp group regarding it. Okay. So now they are not available, so they won't be able to continue the session. They will be updating you all those things in the WhatsApp group. Okay. And Shreya, I'll give you this particular file. You can check with that file. Okay, where you're going wrong. Okay, and then you can update those things. There is no need to purchase any server to do global hacking, Sneha. You have to, it is not required to purchase anything there. Okay. Books and MCQ materials will be updated to you in the WhatsApp group. Fine. Yes, sure. Within the PPTs will be shared in the WhatsApp group to you people. Not to worry about it. Okay, fine then. So with this, I will stop here. I wish you all the best for